When doing systems of equations word problems, there are basically three kinds you can get, okay? So we're going to discuss the first kind. If you think of a standard linear equation, ax plus by is equal to c, okay? And what this means is that you have a certain value associated with the x variable and a certain value associated with the y value, and it gives you a total value, which is the c. So basically it's a cost or a value of something individually multiplied by how many for x, and the same thing for y, and it gives you a total value for c. And then the other thing is, what's the total of objects? X plus y is equal to, just call it d. Okay. In other words, how many did you sell? How many did you buy? You know, how many were there? Whatever. And I'll show you what I mean by this. Let's say you were running a concession stand and you're selling hot dogs. And they cost $1.50 each. And you're selling sodas at 50 cents each. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, you have made a total of $78.50. And the number of objects, the number of hot dogs and sodas combined, 87 total. So 87 hot dogs and sodas combined. So if you think, first of all, the total number of objects, okay, so x plus y is equal to 87. Okay, that's just how many things you sold. Doesn't matter what they are, it just says the total, but there's two different kinds of objects. If you were selling hamburgers too, there would be three different kinds, but we don't do that in Algebra 1. Just for Algebra 1, we only discuss two variables. Okay, now the total was $78.50. That's how much money you made from there, selling those 87 objects. But what you have to do now is figure out, okay, $1.50 times the number of hot dogs plus 50 cents times the number of hamburgers. So one of the things you have to do is set the variables. I always use x and y because your calculator is used to those. Some calculators, if you use different variables, then you have to define those variables. But if you use x and y, you know, most calculators just understand those and go straight into it. Okay, so there's your two equations now. Total objects, 87, x plus y is 87, and then the value of those objects. So $1.50 times the x value plus 50 cents times the y value equals the total amount you sold. Okay, now let's go put those in the calculator and see what we get. Well, if we use Desmos, the calculator, we can say x plus y is equal to 87. The next one, 1.50x plus 0.50y, and you don't have to put the 0, but after the 5 is equal to 78.50. Okay, so now, oops, I put a plus sign there. I've got to put an equal sign. Is equal to 87.50. So now you've got the two linear equations, and you just need to find the intersection. What is x? It'll tell you what x is, and what is y? It'll tell you what y is. But we're on a scale that's too small, so we have to kind of expand out to see where they intersect, and there they are. Okay, so if we close in and see where they intersect, yeah, you usually have to click on one of the lines to give you that dot, and there it is. X is 35, y is 52. So x, which is the hot dogs, he sold 35 and they sold 52 sodas. And if you add those up, you can see 35 and 52 is 87. There they are. And if you multiplied 35 by $1.50 and 52 by 50 cents, you would get 78.50. And that's how you do that kind of particular word problem.